What's up, guys, and welcome back to another EVE Online video. So this one I'm going to be kind of talking a little bit about the state of mining, in 2022. And to give you a little bit of a background on myself, I don't think I've done that before on the channel, is for the first like year and a half, right, of playing EVE, I was strictly mining, right? And I saw a lot of, I saw all the nerfs, right? And it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. Around the end of last year is when I kind of stepped away from it, and I started getting just more into ratting, that straight ISK to wallet kind of gameplay. But I just want to kind of cover the state of mining and the state of the market and kind of manufacturing and all that stuff. I don't think that mining is in necessarily a bad state, but it's not in the best state that it could be, right? And if you're a new miner, or even if you're coming back to mining, knowing what to do, what to mine, and what ships to use and what space to mine in is really important, right? Because it really comes down to ISK per hour, because you don't want to spend your time mining something that is not going to necessarily help you pay off the ship that you're putting into space, right? So I guess we'll start off kind of in high sec, right? What are the things that are very profitable in high sec right now, compared to other high sec? Or I would say, for the most part, mining across the board, in order to be efficient, to get a lot of ore in and everything like that, you pretty much have to either fleet mine with boost just to speed it up. So I'm just gonna say that right now, that's I'm gonna assume we're gonna assume that I'm talking about fleet mining through all this. It's still possible to solo drone mine and stuff like that at a lower rate. It just comes down to preference, really. But for high sec, really, Veldspar, as far as ore goes, is probably the best thing you can be doing, because we're still having to import quite a bit of compressed Veldspar into Null for manufacturing and stuff. So there's still a market for it. The market value is very low, but it's it's a product that you can move, essentially. And then you have ice that's in high sec as well. I prefer to mine the ice belts in Null, just because of a little bit better yield on the refine. And if you're going to take an Orca or anything out to mine ice in high sec, it's such a waste of time. You're getting one drone, and it's at least put a Hulk with it, right? If you put one Hulk with an Orca with boost with the mining drone, you'll do okay. I mean, it's actually better income than Veldspar. And then you have gas mining in high sec. Gas mining is good. You can use a Venture, you can use a Prospect. You have to have a lot of skills in order to do the scanning, to have faster scanning. And it's a lot of moving around. It might be 30 minutes, it might be an hour before you find a nebula or whatever. But when you do find it and you're able to orbit and you're able to fill up your ship, it's pretty lucrative, as well. And then moving into into low sec, the gas thing kind of still applies to low sec. Same with ice. But really for ore, you're pretty much looking at you going after any ore that has Noxium or Isogen. And pretty much for the same reasons for Veldspar, all that stuff that Noxium and Isogen is going to get all imported into Null to build stuff. We get a little bit of it in Null with Crocite Kernite, but it's more prominent in the large and the enormous anomalies, and you have to kind of try to be up early at reset to to grab it, and try to be there right when the nom resets to get it. And then when you do, it's not enough to really kind of dig in to some real shipbuilding or just manufacturing in general. And then moving into null sec, obviously you have your Arknor, your Bistot and everything, and that's all well and good. Most of the stuff you get out of there, you're looking at Zydrine, really, for the most part. You can get your Pyrite and your Mexilon from moon mining. That's probably the better source for it. But really, for the most part, if you want to spend the best amount of time mining for the highest value, your best option is to go Porpoise and a few Hulks and go after Murkoxis. Murkoxis is, once you refine it to Morphite, is extremely easy to export on your own. You don't have to worry about, you know, hiring a freight service or anything like that. Once you have that Morphi, you can throw it in like a crane. You can throw it in anything, you know, that, you know, has a, you know, covert ops cloak and, you know, nullifier, and you can just kind of take it to market yourself. And about 4 months ago, what I was doing, strictly what I was doing mining wise, is I was going out and I was mining pristine white glaze, which was just, or just faction ice in general. And what I was able to do is I was able to actually just refine it and then just sell the topes for a pretty good profit. And then I'd be able to use all the other components of that ice for, you know, whatever I needed for. But you can't really do that anymore. The ice market has kind of bottomed out. Merc still is the king, I think, across the board on pretty much everything. And then you move into, like, you know, wormhole space, where, you know, like null gas is still the same. Like, gas is pretty much the same across any space. If you can find it, it's pretty much worth going out there and huffing. And then, like, wormhole space, you know, you have ice pulses there as well too, but it's still kind of the same thing, right? You're looking for, like, the Noxium, you're looking for the Isogen, you're looking for the ice with the topes that you need to, like, you know, use your jump drives and things like that. And then you have Potchman here, where it's like, you know, Spud main, right? If you can find it, you can spend a decent amount of time on it. You get pretty much, like, you know, everything from it. This is a little bit more of an involved ordeal. I use scouts and stuff like that, and usually it's like a 2 or 3 day kind of affair, because you have to filament in and then you have to filament out and everything, and you have to use kind of scouts the whole way. Usually what I'll do is I'll, you know, send a scout in and then kind of check around. You never know which system you're going to drop into on the filament, so the scout needs to be pretty fast. So once I bring the mining ship in, I try to, you know, scout with another ship, and then I usually just dock the mining ship for like a day or so, and then use a, you know, scout, make navs. I will go ahead and I make my, like, you know, exit filament nav and everything, because once you actually get all this, you know, Spud main, all that stuff, or Rakabine, or whatever you're going for, you know, you want to be able to get out to the border systems and, you know, get it to market, get it back to K-Space, right? Definitely not noob friendly. But I think, yeah, overall, I think mining is pretty challenging, but, you know, the market is could be a lot better. I think drone mining could be a lot better as well, because, like, that gameplay type, the people who, like me, enjoy solo ship with drones out sucking down a rock, is a valid, you know, it's fun for me, you know. But there are situations where if I do have to come up on some ISK, I have to log in the hulks, you know. I have to go, you know, take those hulks out, boost them, and, you know, get out there and grab whatever ore I can. And, you know, if you're in null, or if you're in, you know, wormhole space, or, you know, low sec or whatever, you have to be on your toes, right? So, you know, anytime that, you know, a nuke comes in or anything like that, you have to get off grid, which cuts into your, you know, profits. And so the way you have to start thinking about mining is, like, you know, how much you can get in the shortest amount of time, because you're going to almost always be guaranteed to get interrupted for the most part. But I don't think, you know, mining is still very, you know, it's still lucrative, especially for newer players. I mean, if you're starting to get into mining, you know, you can start going in and doing the high sec stuff, just kind of getting really, you know, used to the whole process, get your skills up. But I think, like, if I had to give any recommendations to anybody who wanted to start mining, set your eyes on Murkoxis, right? You can even just take a skiff out to null, wrapped in a crane, wrapped in like a blockade runner, and get out there and mine, you know, some Murkoxis, and do rather well for yourself. It is a little bit of a train, but I think it's like a good goal to work towards, and something that will kind of help your wallet a little bit. And I'm hoping that we have some positive, you know, mining changes in the future. And I'm hoping that they're in the form of, like, something that will allow the market to kind of bounce back. And, you know, some of the more recent changes, you know, with, like, you know, lowering capital ship parts and stuff like that, hopefully will incentivize more shipbuilding, you know. And so maybe if we have more ships being built, more resources are going through the market, and maybe, you know, supply and demand will kind of take over from there. But I'm still going to try to, like, you know, make some mining videos, you know, for you know, for some of the newer players, you know, and try to help guide you guys into kind of like successfully mining and stuff. But yeah, I just want to kind of just cover the state at which we're kind of living in right now as it comes to it. You know, if you, I mean, like I said before, if you're really wanting to get into mining, go high sec, do Veldspar, you know, work on those skills, get up to the bigger ships, and you're gonna have to probably make some alts, right? That's just how it goes. Make some alts, get them into covetors, eventually get them into hulks or whatever, and just start turning those lasers on. That's the best way. You know, if you're really wanting to do some high sec mining, get some like 3 hulks out there with an orca, and just chew through some belts and sort through it at the end. And then as you start graduating up to like, you know, null sec and stuff, then you can start going after Mercoxis. Then you can start, you know, dragging through, you know, ice belts, and then start making fuel blocks, and like, you know, a lot of things open up for you with better skills. So it's still an exciting profession for me, but you know, I can't see myself ever just being a strict miner, only mining, you know, like I did before. You know, like right now I'll go out and do this, I'll do spud main, you know, for a few hours, and then I'll probably be back to ratting or doing like, you know, combat signatures for the rest of the week or whatever. Because it's just a lot of it is just a lot of risk for not a lot of ISK, right? But anyway, I don't want this video to run too long. I hope what the information I gave is helpful, and you know, look out on the channel for more mining stuff, and I'll try to keep you guys updated on kind of the state of things and, you know, my recommendations as far as fits. And feel free to ask questions as well. I'll do my best to answer everyone that I can, you know, with either a reply to the comment or a video covering the topic, obviously. But thank you for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.